do write a comment, click the like button, click share, and we'll get going in any minute. Okay, I think we're good to go. Okay. Morning. Hiya. I'm Trev. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday bank holiday, 23rd of May 2020 lockdown. I'm going to do a little workshop of juggling. Okay, so I'm also going to talk about mental health. It's Mental Health Awareness Week, which inspired me to do this. Juggling's been a big part of my mental health and my mental health stability and recovery. So I'll talk a little bit about that. If you want to get some juggling balls ready, or if you've not got juggling balls, you could get some fruit, you could get some apples, you could get balls of socks. I'm pretty sure most of you have socks. Put them in balls. Okay. What else could you use? Tennis balls. Tennis balls are great. Okay. A bit hard, but anything really. What else did I find? I had some old red noses from Red Nose Day and a little hacky sack. So you could use anything really and give it a go. So the idea is to get involved. I did think about doing this on Zoom, but it all became a bit complicated. So anyway, we're on Facebook. Okay, so just to start with, as any sports person will know, you need to warm up. So if we just warm up first of all, and you can do this, get a bit of space. So if you're actually going to do some juggling, you'll need a bit of space. So we can just do some swinging of your arms. Maybe some stretches back, and then stretches forward. Maybe a few rotations of your head, just very slowly. So it's still fairly early. Most of you who don't do park run would still be in bed. Well, I don't know. If you've got kids, then you'd be up for hours on a Saturday, I'm sure. But still early for me. I'm still in my pajamas. Right. So yeah, juggling. Anything to say first of all? Okay. Yeah, I'll turn. Let me just see. First of all, yeah, if I use these. Okay, so these are little kind of little hacky sacks, little juggling bean bags. You can use anything though. Okay, and I just want to see if you can just do one. So this is a beginner course. I might do a few tricks later, but only a few little ones. And yeah, just to say at the beginning, I'm not an expert. So if you want to use this video and just, if you're already pretty proficient at juggling, you can just juggle along, listen to me, see how better you are with me. So do that, use that time. But yeah, so one of your, whatever it is, fruit or sacks, and then, so we're throwing it from one hand into the other hand, okay? So one up like that, okay? Morning, Adrian. Okay. Oops. Okay. So what you're looking for is kind of just a little bit above your head. So it's quite a lot about the throw. And hopefully my arms aren't sort of, you know, all sort of out there, and I'm not going like that. So I can kind of like demonstrate with one ball or one hacky sack or beanbag better. In what you're looking for is kind of just a continuity of that. And yeah, I'll just talk about Mental Health Awareness Week maybe at the beginning, just while you're doing one. You can do this while you're listening, hopefully. So carry on doing one. If it's really easy, that's great. So you can just concentrate on trying to get the throw even. Okay. But yeah, when I first had mental health problems, I didn't know how to juggle at all. Had a breakdown, and juggling was a significant part of my recovery. I used to juggle with. My sister used to watch, yeah, it was strange actually, but what I found was the concentration took my mind off all of the kind of dark thoughts and crazy anxieties that were going on in my head, because I was concentrating so much on the ball that that allowed a bit of focus. So it kind of linked in later on with meditation and that sort of thing. So I'd say it was a meditative practice. Let's try it with a different thing. Let's try it with an apple. So apple. These are small apples actually. So apples are a bit harder than bean bags, obviously. So you have to think, as a beginner, something a bit softer would probably be ideal. Apple's good. Let's try a sock. Socks are great. If you can get them ball shaped, I found that kind of the end of the sock is quite difficult, but if you could get it ball shaped, it's fine. So yeah, while I was doing it, it was just a focus really. So a focus on the juggling. And I would say I was severely ill for like a year or possibly more than that. Still have memories and recoveries. Those of you who know about mental health will know that it never really goes away. It's something you kind of live with for forever really. But you just have to learn to cope with it. So for me, juggling was a massive coping strategy. Let's try tennis ball. Tennis ball is very bouncy. Okay, so okay, we're almost ready to go to two balls where it becomes fun. Okay, so like I say, you're looking for, if you've just joined, welcome. You're looking for sort of like smooth movements, and you're looking for a kind of an arc that's quite nice and the same height. I mean, obviously you can, if you look for tricks, throw massively high, or you can look for, this sort of thing, and you can play with that in as you get more advanced. But you're looking really for just above the head. Okay, I'm going to turn my other camera on, and yeah. So now if you get two balls, let's try. Well, let's stay with tennis balls. Okay, so I've set up this side camera so you can see from the side. But so with two balls, we want to go throw, catch. If that's easy, like I say, if you're already good at juggling, then do some of your own juggling while you're listening, and yeah, hopefully I still might show you something or talk about mental health, or do drop a comment as well if you want to. Okay, so throw, catch, throw, catch. If you actually don't catch, that's okay for the moment. So throw, you could go throw, drop. Throw, drop. Throw, drop. And the next stage might be throw, and you kind of actually roughly catch it. So you kind of like throw, make contact with both hands. Throw, they fell on the floor, but it's fine. Let's go back to these. These are, I can't remember who gave these to me, but these are lovely little juggling balls. Okay, so what are we doing? 2, almost did 3 there. Throw, catch. Throw, catch. There's a lot of people that might want to do passing. So throw, pass, like that, or the other way, throw, pass. That's not ideal really. That's not going to get you very far. That's pretty much the same as one ball. Okay, that's a bit like me doing one ball and kind of waving my hand, or doing one ball, something like that. One ball, one ball. So it's not really 2-ball practice. So with 2-ball practice, you basically want to have both balls in the air at another time. If I look at the camera, does that work? Hopefully you can get a side view. Throw, catch. Throw, catch. Throw, catch. I hope this is coming out okay. I don't know if, like I say, it was quite last minute. I was actually, last night, a friend of mine in Oxford, Josh, does a chanting every Friday, and it's absolutely amazing. It's really great, and I was thinking about kind of the meditation practices and what I used to do, and I thought about Mental Health Awareness Week. I usually do stuff for Mental Health Awareness Week. But I thought about juggling, just came to my mind late last night, and I thought, well, actually, I don't really want to go for a run tomorrow morning, so I'm doing this instead. Okay, throw, throw, catch, catch. Throw, throw, catch, catch. So again, if that's easy, okay, you're probably ready to move to the next stage, and you can do that and still watch the video. Use this time to do your own juggling practice, that's fine. If this is difficult, you probably need to stay on 2 balls for longer, but it doesn't mean it has to be boring. So you can still kind of play with swapping. So you could swap onto, well, I'll look at these balls actually. So these juggling balls are really old and battered, and I've been juggling a long time with them. You can see they're covered in sellotape and mud. I did a bit of joggling with that, so I'll talk a bit about joggling later. But okay, so you've got different balls you can play. So throw, throw, catch, catch. Throw, throw, catch, catch. And hopefully you can see that the top of my throw is roughly the same. So like I say, when you get better, you can play with that. You can go low, you can go high. That was a pass. Whoa, tell me off. Okay, so you can do stuff like that. Okay, I think I'm ready to show you 3 balls. By all means, you can, if that's enough, you can stay on 2 balls and still look at the video. You could also try, actually, before we move on, you could try 2 balls in one hand, which I find quite hard. Well, I think probably everybody will find it quite hard. Saying that, he made it look easy. But 2 balls in one hand, so what you're doing is throwing, and just before you catch, you are throwing the other one up. That's actually quite hard, so I don't want to sort of give you the wrong impression actually. So you're throwing and throwing the other one, throwing the other one. But the reason I want to show you that at this point is some people find that easier than 3 balls. So it might be that from 2 balls you go to 2 balls in one hand. I'm right-handed. If I was to do that in my left hand, I often will make a mistake and drop one. When I was doing it a lot, I was able to do it a bit better in my left hand. That needs a bit of practice. Okay, so 3 balls. Let's go back to bean bags. Okay, so 3 bean bags. I like these bean bags because they're a bit lighter on my hand, if you see. Okay, so 3 balls. Okay, we've got 16 people viewing. Welcome if you've just joined. My name's Trev. I'm just doing a little demonstration of juggling. If you want to get some juggling apparatus, get 3 juggling balls if you've got them, or some socks or anything in your house. 3 apples will do, or anything you like. So 3 balls juggling, throw, throw, throw. As easy as that. But so throw, throw, throw. So what you're kind of doing is you're throwing just before you catch. Okay, so you're throwing just before you catch, and when it comes over this side, throwing just before you catch. Easier said than done. So it took me a long time to master it. So, and again, if you've just joined, I'm talking a bit about Mental Health Awareness Week as well. And I took up juggling, I was in my 20s, I can't remember the exact age, maybe 22, 23. I couldn't juggle at all before then. And some of you might be thinking, well, what's the point? Dare I say, we're in lockdown, maybe there's other things to do. I've got a nice picture of a beach in the background. Hopefully, oops, oh, that's got the text still, but hopefully you're not tempted to go to the beach today, and you've got other things to do, like learning how to juggle. But yeah, I think getting through that sort of focus of there is meaning and there is kind of a purpose. So my purpose when I was really ill with mental health was to try and juggle 3 balls without dropping them. And then when I was getting kind of a bit more fluent, it was, can I go for a few seconds? I mean, can I do 10 throws and not drop them? Can I count to 100? Can I give a live stream or whatever it is? So it doesn't change in a way. So you got me up this morning. So thanks for joining me. Okay, so 3 balls, throw, throw, throw. And like with 2 balls, if you don't catch them, that's okay. The throwing is actually more important. Throw, 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 oops, drop, pick them up, go again. Throw, 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 oops, drop 1, pick it up. So it's kind of a bit relentless in that sense. If it gets too frustrating, then go back to 2 balls and then sort of work your way into 3 balls after that. Throw, throw, throw. Oh, I caught them there. So for a long while, I might do throw, 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 and then you're kind of building up to actually doing a throw, 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 if you see what I mean. Another important thing, let's swap to some other balls. Let's do socks. So I don't know, is anyone actually using socks? I had this idea of, you know, people using things that they've got in their house if you don't have juggling balls, because obviously this is a beginner guide to juggling. If you're not a juggler, why would you have juggling balls? So you have got socks though. So socks, make them ball shaped, ideally similar size, similar weight. That's the idea. You're going throw, 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 like that. Throw, throw, throw. And those of you just joining, the throw is kind of the most important thing. You're looking for it to be sort of just above head height. Okay, throw, 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 like that. Throw, throw, throw. Drop to sock. Okay, I hope some people are actually juggling along. You obviously can watch this. I might keep it up. I'm not sure if I'll keep it as a public Facebook post for a long time, because you get all sorts of weird stuff going on public Facebook. But I'll try and put it somewhere. But throw, 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 and then see if you can carry on. Oop. So I'm not going to do anything like throwing chainsaws and knives and axes and fire things. I'm not going to do that. I don't really fancy that. Oranges. Oranges are actually a little bit better than apples because they're a bit softer. So you've got the skin, so you can juggle with oranges. So if you've done a couple of rounds, you can see if you can carry on. We might maybe do a little few seconds in a moment. Ooh, my camera's freezing. It froze with an orange in front of my face. That was a bit weird. Okay, so yeah, to start off with 3 balls, you need 2 in one hand, and you're throwing one of them to start you off. Throwing one of them, goes in the air, other one takes off like that, other one takes off. So yeah, you've got to have 2 in one hand. I put it in my left hand. Generally, I could start the other way. Yeah, I can do it. But I don't know really why. I think I do with my left hand because I'm right-handed, and I feel that kind of the first sort of complicated move is in my right hand, perhaps. So I throw it up with my left hand, and then my right hand's like, yeah, I'm taking over. If I did it with my right hand, it kind of works fine. You might find that one of them is a bit easier. So play with that. Play with which hand has 2. Because that starting is really hard. Okay, if I've lost you at this point, go back to 2. So you can still look at the video, you can still play along, and you could just do your 2 again. So for those of you who've just joined, 1, 2, catch, catch. 1, 2, catch, catch. I won't drop these because they're fruit, or not intentionally, but if you drop them, that's fine. Just pick them up. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Okay. What else did I have? Oh yeah, these red noses. So the red noses are actually harder to juggle with because they're very light. Those of you with kids will probably know the names of these. I can't remember the names of these noses. I remember when I was at school and got them, they were all collecting all the different noses. But yeah, so let's do it here. Okay, so then you can get a sideways view. So they are quite hard because they're a bit light. And you can also juggle with scarves or well, anything really. Okay. Okay, morning Zoe. Oh, so Zoe was the one who taught. Oh yeah, hi Jill. So Zoe's my sister, and she was the one that introduced me to juggling. Zoe, I don't know if you can actually juggle, can you? But Zoe certainly gave me the impetus to carry on doing it, and would watch me doing it every day, really. So every day for a year. I mean, it wouldn't be for wouldn't be for all day, but certainly when you're very ill, those of you who've suffered from depression or anxiety, it's very hard to do anything. So it's good to sort of try and think of things that you can do and try and build on them. So to get out of bed in order to do a bit of juggling, and then hopefully I was up, so I might get dressed, or I might, I don't know, have a shower, or I was quite ill. But, you know, actually to have that kind of motivation was quite important. Okay, so and it's the same in lockdown actually. So if you think, okay, I'm really struggling in lockdown, I can't go to work, I'm fallowed or whatever you call it, and my work's dried up, I've got no reason to get up. Those with kids are going to be opposite really, because you're going to be like, the kids are everywhere, I've got no time for me or whatever. So but yeah, I mean, either way, to have a little bit of sort of structure of, right, I'm going to do 5 minutes of juggling is really quite helpful, and then you'll see yourself improve. I mean, I do a lot of kind of teaching instruments and things like that, but juggling's a bit different, and obviously I do a lot of running as well, but I know not all of you are fitness people, so I thought I'd do something different. Right, let's go back to bean bags. Okay, so let's see if we can do, that's going to be hard because I can't see my watch. Let's take my watch off. Let's see if we can do half a minute of juggling. So you can be juggling with one ball, or you could be juggling with two balls, or you could be juggling with three balls or whatever you've got. Okay, so 30 seconds, starting, get ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So let's see if we can do 30 seconds, or as much of 30 seconds as you can. So I'm looking at that. Let's see if I can look at you there. Okay, keep going. It's halfway. I need a better system. I need a beeper like Joe Wicks. Maybe I'll do an imitation beep. I think that's probably beep, 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 beep. Well done, everyone. Okay, so you can see the idea. You're building on your technique, and you're kind of building up to being longer. Back to the question of why. Let's go to my my really old juggling balls. I think I found once I'd got kind of competent at it, and you have to be quite well actually. So once you find it easy, then I don't know that you need it less. I think that the getting to the stage of like 3 balls or continuing for half a minute or a minute is kind of like the work element, and it's where the mind has to focus. If you're finding, that's really easy, I could juggle forever, then why not try and sing a song, or do it along to something, do it while you're watching TV, or do it while you're talking to someone, or do it while you're jogging. So which I did at the Town and Gown. So I don't know if you can see see this. That's it's up there. That's me juggling under the bridge of Sighs in Oxford, and that was a couple of years ago. And so I kind of was doing my juggling and linked it to running, and that was a 10k. I did actually do Manchester Marathon as well, which was really hard work, and I think I probably did about half of it juggling and half of it running. But okay, back to our work. So still got a few people with us. So thanks Verity. Juggling school, yes it was, and scarves. I actually, to be honest, I find scarves quite difficult because they're so light and you grab them as they kind of float. But some people really get on with scarves. So the equivalent for me might be a bean bag, which is a bit more floaty than a ball. Okay, and the tennis balls, I think the tennis balls kind of look cool, and I was just sort of playing tennis with a little tennis machine thing on on a wire with myself the other day, again because it's lockdown. So tennis balls look quite cool. So if you see a professional juggler, he or she indeed may use balls that are a bit more like that because they kind of look quite cool. They're quite bright, big, but they are a little bit harder. So you have to practice with what you've got. Yeah, if you've got a different selection of items, you might want to try swapping. I'm not sure how long I'll go for actually, maybe certainly another 10 minutes or so. So I'm not going to go forever. But yeah, if you've got other items, you might want to try doing a little bit with something else. See if you can do what you've got up to with something else. Oh yeah, and I was going to show you again the 2 in one hand. So once you've got that idea of just before throwing, so just before you catch, throw, and throw like that, you can try it 2 in one hand. And if you look with two in one hand, I'm kind of doing a kind of a loop. I'm kind of throwing them around each other, which is the same. I should have said that, in fact. Well, I'm saying it now with 2 balls, but basically you're throwing sort of like in a loop. You're not throwing, because if I actually went throw up, boom, they'd hit each other, wouldn't they? So boom, and you don't want to do that. You want to throw them around each other. So I'm kind of throwing in a circle. Okay, so sort of like that. And you can practice throwing in a different way, sort of clockwise, anti-clockwise. I'm not very good at that way. So you will find, like I was saying before with left hand and right hand, you'll find that one way is a bit easier than the other way. So I find my left hand a little bit harder. Let's get that other ball. So seems to be all right there. Oh, so you see there, they hit each other. So that was because I threw it not in a loop. I threw it in a kind of more direct line, or the loops hit. So you don't want them to hit each other. That will stop your flow. Okay, so we've still got a few people watching. Thanks for joining me, by the way, and I hope you have a really great bank holiday weekend. I will do a little bit more, but yeah, thank you, and you're welcome to pop in and out. Okay, let's go back to, where are they? Juggling balls. Okay, so tricks. Okay, once you've got this, and I know some of you, that might be that might be enough. That might be past everyone. And some people might have gone, oh, crikey, he was going to do juggling and he's only just got up to 3 balls and I can already do 4 balls or 5 balls. And the thing is, if you already can do tricks or 5 balls or 4 balls, you probably don't need a tuition video. But it's fun to do it. It's inspired me to get them out again. I think before yesterday, I hadn't juggled for a couple of years. So, you know, it's good to have a discipline. So if this has encouraged you to pick them up and go, this is easy, I can do this, then great. Because that's success, I think. Yeah, so if you're doing 3 balls, okay, so like this. So we're just talking about tennis. So what I'm going to try and do is get the ball to go over a kind of a net. So these 2 balls are going to go up and down, and it's going to look a bit like tennis. That's hard. Okay, let's see if I can do it, or hard for me, should I say. So I've got that one going, in fact, let's break it down. First of all, so I'm going to go, so what I'm doing is I'm throwing them, and then every now and again I'm getting one and throwing it over the top. So I've got my kind of stable 3, which will take a long time to work up, and your stable 3, and then you throw one over the net. Okay, well that is still tennis, isn't it? So you throw one over the net. Okay. So I could throw one the other way. Whoop, and that shows I need a bit more practice, but that's fine because that's what we're doing. So you're throwing it over the net. Okay, so over the net. I hope people can see that. Let's try it this way. So I'm looking at this camera now. So, okay, so you've got your stable, and give yourself some time to get stable. Over the net, over the net, over the net. Okay, Let's try it with some other balls. Let's try it with the bean bags. Okay, so over the net, over the net. And you can see actually as this is sort of getting back to sort of roughly where my ability was, I'm kind of moving my hands more than I was when I was just doing one ball. So that's maybe what you might have found when you're doing one ball or two balls if you're not used to it. So you're looking to stabilize, you're looking to be in one place, you're looking to have good heights to your throws, okay? Over the net, over the net. There we go, almost to her. So I did a little hit there because it wasn't over enough. Okay, should we see if we can do it with socks? Playing tennis with socks. Okay. Whoops. Over the net. Whoop. And it can be a bit demoralising if you're dropping them all the time and go, oh, don't want to do it. That's where practice makes perfect. But the same with learning anything. Whoop. If you do a bit every day, well, every few days or whatever, I mean, try doing it every day. Why not? I mean, what else have you got to do? If you do 10 minutes of juggling every day, it's not going to kill you, is it? So do 10 minutes every day. See if you can come back. Maybe I'll do a follow-up session next week to see if anyone's got any better at their juggling. Okay, so these are harder than the balls because they're slightly different shape. But he's doing it, he's doing it. Did you see that? Okay, you can also do other ones where you go under the arm. I am going to go back to, actually no, let's go to apples. I haven't done a lot of apple juggling. Okay, apples are hard. So you might want to, when you catch it, move down a bit. If you go, you might actually, well, it's not going to hurt you too much, but you can hear that boof. They're hard, okay? So hard apples. So you've got the juggling, throwing over. This time I'm going to go under the arm. Do you see that? Like that. So now I'm kind of mixing up my tricks. Drop one apple, but it's okay. I'll eat them later. Okay, so under the arm, okay? I don't know if anyone had any questions, by the way. 9 people. Okay, so there's a few, I'm assuming there's a few new people. Welcome if you just joined. Just doing a little workshop on juggling. Going to do a few more minutes, but do rewind it and play it again if you want to. I'll leave it public for at least this morning before I might take it down. But you're also welcome to like it and share it. Okay. So under the arm, under the arm. Okay, so you've got the trick. So you're throwing them in the thing. And you've got one that goes over the outside, and you've got the other one which goes under. Just think, yeah, under the other arm, under the other arm. So you're playing what you might do with one ball. There's also, so I could kind of go with 2 balls, and oop, lost my apple again. The problem with fruit is, yeah, you do have to eat them. They will get bruised, but. So you've got 2, I can do this sort of thing where you kind of move the other one with your actual hand. You don't throw it. Well, you could actually throw it if you want, like that. So I've got a couple of juggling books. This is a really old book, so I'll show you the complete juggler. All the steps from beginner to professional. Look at him, he looks like he's having a lot of fun, doesn't he? Dave Finnegan. That's a really old book. Someone gave me that book, probably my sister, I don't know, but or my mum, I don't know, but I've been doing juggling for a long time now, so I've collected a couple of books. There's another one, Juggling for All. Look how many balls he's got. Wow. And when you get past 4 balls is actually like 2 in one hand. But when you get 5, you're kind of doing 3, but throwing them higher. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bit like that. And I quite like, actually, it's a bit like rhythm, a bit like music. I might show you a little bit of music in a sec. So Juggling for All. So you can probably pick a really cheap juggling book up from eBay or second-hand bookshop if they are still open. I'm not sure if bookshops are open. And there's another one. juggling. Yeah, there's someone doing clubs. So like I say, you could if you're confident at juggling, you can already juggle 3 balls. Try some different items. Maybe you can juggle 3 toys. So I've got some toys lined up here. So I've got they haven't all got names, I'm afraid, because they're other people's toys that I've collected. I haven't stolen them. But there's oops, sort of a dog, a leopard, and a man dressed as a bee. So let's see if I can juggle with them. And I mean, your kids are going to love that if you can juggle with their their toys. They might be like, "No, what are you doing? You're juggling with my toys." But oh, I can't really do it with that. They're all different shapes. Maybe I'll swap the dog. But I know I can do it, just to prove that I can juggle with toys. But just as a word, having one that's a very different weight. So this dog is very heavy compared to these 2 light ones. That makes it a lot harder because I'm having to sort of judge. Throw that one a little bit harder and catch it a little bit kind of fuller. So in a way, it'd be better if I had sort of Buzz Lightyear or something. So Buzz has only got 1 wing. Oh no, poor Buzz. Okay, but Buzz Lightyear, a bee and a leopard. I'm pretty sure that's a leopard. If anybody knows that's not a leopard, then let me know what it is. But again, I'm having to think about Buzz because Buzz has some spiky bits, but it's not too bad. My hands are fine. So, okay, maybe that's enough juggling with toys. The other thing I was going to show you was juggling to music, and I've kind of, it may seem like thanks Emma. Like I say, I'm only going to do it for a few more minutes. You're welcome to pop it in and out. I was going to do it to some music. I'm having a bit of a nightmare getting music to sound good. And I couldn't really work out why. So I know I've got all my screens and roughly and doing it live and whatever. But I'm not sure if you can hear this or if you can. But you can pick your favourite tune. So that was a tune of mine. And you can make it into sort of a dance. So you're kind of, what's the word? Getting the pulse, like you would if you're dancing, and you're trying to throw in time with the music. And I apologise for the sound. I've stopped it at the moment, but I apologise for the sound quality because I couldn't quite work out how to share the audio, as simple as it might sound, without it distorting. But I'll just show you what it's like playing along to a track. So. Hopefully you get the idea of that. So you can play along to your favourite tunes. It's good to play ones that are hard, not just the ones that are a really amazing sort of nice tempo. Play ones that are a bit too slow or a bit too fast. See if you can actually still do it. What did I also do? Hopefully you might be able to hear that. That's a metronome. 1, 2. So that's a bit slower, so I'm going to have to go. I could do 2, that's easier. So that's 2 to every click. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But can I do it to 1? Let's see if I can do it with beanbags. But. It's maybe a bit. I need to practice that. But again, you get the idea. So you can throw them higher or lower. I used to love going to festivals. Sad. Festivals don't exist at the moment, but going to festivals and actually juggling along to live music. It's partly because I have a very overactive brain. So actually, if I'm juggling, that's going to slow me down a bit because I can't do quite as much because I've got to carry on juggling. So yeah, at whatever stage of your kind of health or your craziness in this lockdown, if you do a little bit of juggling, hopefully that might help. I think that's it. So thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to share something that I've enjoyed for many years with you, and I do hope it inspires you to get some sort of juggling balls out. Do juggle it. If you've got kids, maybe see if you can juggle with them. See if you can just, 10 minutes, sort of see how they get on. Juggle with different things, juggle with toys, juggle with soft things. See if you can juggle with fruit. And I hope you enjoy it. I'll just put my picture of the town and gown on again, my glorious juggling town and gown. Oh yeah, well, if you're a runner, I guess I should probably say about juggling, because it is something that, again, I was more well when I was doing juggling. Might not seem like it, but I was. So I was still working and everything, and doing running. And Matt, who I used to live with, Matt Winkworth, introduced me to a guy, Kia, and he did juggling, sorry. So I had this idea that you can link them together, but he's already been doing it. So he put me in touch, and we kind of had some little kind of like sharing of advice and tips. But basically, if you're running along and you're moving, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're kind of like, if you move forward with running, you're throwing the ball at the same, what's the word, velocity that you're going. So it kind of feels like it feels the same, or it did for me anyway. So you might, again, if you get really good at doing 3, try moving around. So you could do it in your garden. You don't have to do it with people watching like I did. That was quite hard because there are people, they weren't even socially distancing. I said, guys, you've got to stay back. I've got juggling balls. But they were they were really kind of right next to me. But see if you can jog on the spot. See if you can move around. See if you can turn round. Can you turn round, still holding the balls, and build up? Just have some fun with it. But if you're already getting bored with your daily exercise, or you're getting bored with it, try doing something a bit new. Okay, right. I'm going to say goodbye, and like I say, thanks so much for joining me, and do share it, watch it again later if you want to. See you soon.